Coaches, what's going on? It's Coach Ian Tatum and Coach Rapinick back here with the Counterculture Podcast. This is episode number 9. And Coach, what are we talking about today?
NIL, transfer portal, and the dumpster fire that is high school recruiting right now.
Yeah, man, it's insane. There's definitely probably more people that are more knowledgeable about it than I am. But we deal with it being high school coaches and watching college sports and stuff like that, and we hear about it all the time. And it's definitely more of like the top is getting the best, and then everybody else is struggling. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of NIL transfer portal. It's very, very popular topic to talk about. So, Coach, when was this? Just kind of throw it on you real quick. But when was the first time you really thought about like NIL, or like, hey, like maybe guys might get paid, or anything like that? Because kind of they were talking about it for a little bit, and then it was like all of a sudden, like boom, yeah, we're gonna pay him now, and it's crazy.
I don't know if I ever thought it would actually happen until it did. Growing up watching college football, we've talked many times about how, how I grew up watching college football, not really NFL, but, the biggest thing to me that I loved was, everybody talks about like the, what's the word? The purity or whatever to college football because they'll play because they love the game and all that stuff. And my first thought was like, okay, it's going to get ruined. And obviously it's different. Like, that video of Saban that went around, it might've been earlier this week into last week, where he was talking to somebody about how, like, he would have the recruits' families come in and his wife would talk to all the moms, and all they wanted to know is how much they were going to get paid.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's a very, very real thing. Talking to people who went to college and not the NIL age, they're pretty upset that they weren't in college during the NIL age. But there's so many different things, and I don't know if I'm necessarily for it or against it. I see how it impacts our kids. I see how it impacts other schools, high schools, I mean, and things like that. So, that's tough. But at the same time, I guess the way that it helps some kids who may need, financial assistance and things like that, it's hard to hate it, but I'm not sure, how I necessarily feel about it, to be, I guess, 100% honest.
Yeah. Coach Owens again, filling the blank. If it's even, it's leaving. Yeah, man. Coach Wesley Woodward, excuse me. Be back once the sun's down. I follow that, Coach.
Sounds good. I feel it.
Coach says, love the show. Appreciate your love and support, Coach. If you're watching, make sure you come in and sign in. Just type in who are you, where you coming from, where you coach, or just let us know some positive word. But yeah, NIL it's a tricky situation because I have mixed feelings on it, and the only reason I have mixed feelings is because do I feel like student athletes should be compensated? I say yes, but also I don't think it should be as crazy as it is. The reason I say crazy is because there's no guidelines at all.
I would say it's regulated terribly.
Yeah, like there's like they always this gets reference of being like there's no guardrails. It's just do whatever you want.
Right.
And they have these collectives. The schools have collectives that boosters and companies and agents or whoever put money into and can pull money out for certain people, right? And I'm not naive. Like, yeah, Caleb Williams is getting his $4.5 million, and the long snapper at USC ain't getting that. Like, I understand there's levels to this, right? But there's got to be some type of a cap on the collective. There's got to be some type of, but once you have contracts or something like that, then you start to, now they're employees, right? So now well, employees have insurance, and then they have insurance as players, but like they can take out insurance. They have retirement. Well, they can take sick leave. Like, all right, I ain't feel like going to work. I don't feel like going to practice today. Like, and they can just do what they want to do, right?
Hey, my dog.
Let's see, heck yeah, Coach TJ, appreciate you, Coach, appreciate you.
My dog.
But it's like, yeah, it's like where's the line in the sand? Where do we, everybody wants to have all or nothing, but then like you can't be all in. I don't know. It's sticky, man.
I think for me, part of it is like the timing of when it happened. Like, I don't know if this is exactly right, but it felt like COVID, the free year of eligibility, NIL, and transfer portal all hit at the same time.
Yeah.
And to me, obviously, like a lot of schools are still seeing the effect of like the free COVID year. It went from, okay, we know we're going to take this many kids at this position, and then, okay, now everybody gets a free year of eligibility because of COVID. Okay, how many kids are we going to have that come back at this position for their free year? Okay, now I need to go tell kids that we can't take their commitment.
Yeah.
So, from that aspect of it, it's been tough. Obviously the transfer portal has become another obstacle that high school kids have had to deal with.
Yeah.
I that part of it for me is tough to see. I tell our kids now, I'm like, look, I said, you don't realize how difficult it is now in this like age of college football to get an offer from anywhere.
Yeah.
Like if it's D3, take it.
Yeah.
D2, take it. If you're a Power 5 kid, by chance, and you get an FCS offer, take it. Because you have absolutely no idea who's going to be where. And on top of that, okay, you can go D3, ball, and then all of a sudden you can go 1AA. Like, it's a double-edged sword, in my opinion, because it's great from that sense where, you can be at a program who doesn't offer you, like one of the players that I coached at Norview, played at Old Dominion, play receiver, growing opportunities for small cool. There's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt. To me, D2 is the one that's hit it the worst or has gotten hit the worst. But I had a receiver that played for me at Norview, walked on at Old Dominion, and never got offered a scholarship there, got in the transfer portal. Now he's at Albany starting on full scholarship.
Yeah.
So, obviously you hear like the horror stories, but in a case like that, okay, it's helping a kid who financially wanted to stay at Old Dominion, but wasn't able to, because of the financial aspect of it, and is able to get a full scholarship at a 1AA school, and he's playing really good ball now. But then you see the other side of it where it's a Power 5 kid who, isn't playing or isn't happy with their playing time or whatever the case is. And they say, okay, well, I'm going to get in the portal. I'm going to go FCS. And then you have a player who is committed to this FCS school and they back out because they want the Power 5 kid instead.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got to take into account too, like the amount of kids that are in the portal who haven't even found anywhere. It's a ridiculous amount too. So, it's crazy, man. Like I think the Coach Ball, appreciate you. I think you really need to find a way to regulate it. And I know everybody's saying that, but at the end of the day, how do you do it now?
Yeah.
You let it be the Wild Wild West for how many years is this now? 3? 2? I don't know. It feels like
Yeah.
forever.
I mean, yeah, I think it's since COVID, so it's like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, so like you let it be the Wild Wild West for this long. How do you change all of that to it being regulated? But I think you got a guy like Saban who's fighting for it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the greatest college football coach of all time, to me, that means a lot.
Well, I like what, I like what you
publicly said too. Like, this is the reason why I got out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like what you said, you were talking about, there's the good and the bad. Like there's, for every horror story, there's a great story, and there
Right.
really is. But the ones that get published are the ones that are the bad. Like Caden Proctor, the tackle from Alabama, goes transfers to Iowa, is there for spring ball, and then he's transferred back to Alabama.
Unbelievable.
There's got to be a common sense factor to this. I know that the case by case basis didn't work, because you could appeal, before the transfer portal, you could appeal your transfer, and if it was financial, family, whatever it was, the NCAA might grant it, but in the NCAA, it's a failed system anyway. So, but the case by case, this is if this was his case, no, bro, sorry, you went to Iowa, have fun. Y'all gonna score. You'll score 9 points a game. That's it. Good job. So why are you leaving just to go back? And I read an article. Apparently he did that in high school too. He committed to Iowa in high school and decommitted. He's got something about hating on Iowa. I don't know, but yeah, it's there's good things and there's bad things when it comes to this stuff. And I was going to talk about that COVID year. I remember when they proposed it, I was there thinking dude, that'd be dope for guys. You didn't get to play, whether or not you play a shortened season or some places you didn't play at all. I felt bad. Those guys needed a year, but I didn't think that every single person on a roster since COVID would have that extra year.
No.
And it would stockpile back. So that's 4 years of guys that are I got my COVID year. Those seniors need a COVID year
either.
Yeah, those seniors need a COVID year. Let them play until the next year, and then get up out of here. Like the dude at Florida or wherever it is, one of Florida schools that's gonna be playing for his 8th year. Give me go sell insurance, big dog.
Right. Now everybody just Stetson Bennett, and they're 40 years old playing college football.
Exactly. So yeah, that has been one huge impact on high school is that it's like you said, all three have happened. NIL, transfer portal, and the COVID year all just has made this thing just, it's a gridlock. And Coach Owen said ruin opportunities for small kids, small school kids, D2 prospect. Yeah, it's hurt our kids. D2 is fine. Those coaches, I've talked to coaches. I know Trotter told me he talked to coaches. Those guys are dude, this is our best recruiting class we've ever had. They got FCS guys coming to them, and Power 5 guys going to FCS, and then they're transferring around. They can go and anybody can get a transfer guy. I don't know, call it, Valdosta State, who's one of the best D2s around. They can hop in the portal and get somebody from Michigan, and because the guy from Michigan can't get into another Power 5.
Yeah.
So
just got a kick from Clemson.
Yeah.
It's great for them, but and I think I don't know as a college coach on the receiving end has got to be great. Yeah. But then you think about the amount of time that they spend recruiting, and this is recruiting high school kids or kids that they're trying to get from the portal. And now they have to recruit their own kids literally every year to get them to stay there. To me, that is absurd. I had a coach come into our building, and I'm not going to say who or the school, and he recruited my school at Norview also. Phenomenal person. And I feel like him and I have a pretty good relationship. We've known each other for, I don't know, a while now. And he walked in, and we were just talking. And I was like, man, are you good? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, are you all right? You look exhausted. And he was like, man, this transfer portal thing has gotten out of control. And I think too, like as well, like you have these 1AA schools, right? Like, well, William and Mary, for example, right? Historically good program, 1AA program, all that stuff. Those guys don't. I can't imagine they got much going on when it comes to NIL.
Yeah.
So if you go to William and Mary, you play well, you're on full scholarship, you decide, hey man, I deserve some money, then you jump to wherever. And I mean, at the end of the day, what happens? I mean, you could think the same thing for JMU. You could think the same thing for App State. All those schools that are really, really good, like Group of Five or FCS schools. I mean, how are they handling the whole NIL thing?
Yeah. And yeah, and bring it back to my own personal situation, like for Forsyth County being open enrollment, it's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
like we deal with the same issue. Like we have to recruit our team every year, which is bull crap, by the way. Just want to put that out there for anybody listening that cares. And then kids can up and transfer anyway. And we got coaches out here in their DMs. Like if I wasn't a Christian, I would have so many jobs. I'd pull so many people's jobs right now. Like I have DMs from coaches trying to sneak our kids, and then they asking me, "Hey, coach, how do you do this on this play?" Oh, I want to tell them to go shove it. Like, but I don't know. Like it's crazy because we do the same thing at the high school level. Like it's trickled down, man. It's but Forsyth County's been open enrollment forever, and other counties that do it. But but I think having to recruit your own roster every year would be exhausting. It's not even every year; it's every day. Like,
really, right?
If I'm coaching offensive line, I have my starters. I have my starters. I have my swing tackle, my sixth man, whatever you want to call it. Guy, my several people that can play center and guard at the same time, and like I'm making my depth chart. Well, if I got a guy that, hey, this guy, I end up landing him in recruiting, he's gonna be really good in a year and a half, maybe 2 years. He's gonna be a dude. Well, he don't want to be a dude like in 2 years. He want to be a dude right now, so he's gonna leave. Well, now I don't have depth. Like, and you're like, whoa, that kid deserves to go play. I mean, cool, but you got to think from the coach's perspective too. Like, he's trying to, you can't just kiss everybody's butt just because they want to play. Like, there's only 11 positions on the field at one time. 22 if you go to offense defense. 33 if we do one of the special teams with it. There's not much. So asking for like, oh, I'm not playing right away, I'm out. Like, how about grinding? How about putting in the work? How about trying to take a spot? Like, there's competition is almost dead in especially in high school. Like, competition is almost dead. Kids don't care anymore. Like, if a kid shows somebody up, they're like, man, whatever. Like, they just keep it pushing and they just keep moving on, and nobody takes anything serious like that. And so it starts down here because it starts to get up there, and well, I'm just gonna transfer. It's a little hard. I'm out. It's
crazy. Something else crazy too.
What's up?
I've heard of kids getting in the portal and not even telling the coaches because they don't have to. Yeah. They just have to go to compliance. Mm-hmm. So they can go to compliance and get in the transfer portal, and then the coaches find out from the compliance people. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I definitely agree with the fact that it's caused kids to say, like, I don't want to compete anymore because I think that I don't have to compete. I can just go to this school, and they're telling me I'm going to start anyway, so I don't have to worry about competing.
Yeah. The lies coaches tell.
Yeah. And I think, with the transfer portal, it's supposed to be regulated that, like, you can't talk to a kid until he's in the portal, yada, yada, yada. I think if you're getting a kid like the kid that you talked about, the tackle from Alabama / Iowa / whatever you want, whatever school you want to call him from.
Yeah.
You have a kid like that who he was at Alabama first, right? Mm-hmm. Then he went to Iowa.
Started in the semifinal. Like, yeah.
You mean to tell me that Alabama didn't say nothing to that kid after he left Iowa? Or that kid didn't say anything to the Alabama coaches? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. You know, there's some kids who I think could be fairly legitimate. Like, you know, there's a couple of kids who I've seen from the 757 who have gotten in the portal, um, you know, and things like that. But like, let's be 100% honest here. Do we really think that that is like something that's actually happening?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, you know, I had a kid that's at Georgia right now, plays corner, really, really good player and really hard worker, has a phenomenal family. He didn't start at Georgia until I don't know if he started every game this year, but anyway, he's gonna be a junior. Yeah, he's gonna be a junior in the fall and redshirt junior. He could have left.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like the third, fourth corner at a SEC school, you could have gone somewhere else and started. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But his that's how his family is. They don't quit. They don't give up. They don't do that kind of stuff. But obviously, that's not everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes it tough.
Well, my thing is the Proctor dude started in the Rose Bowl, and
See,
then
I
he
didn't.
just like, yeah, he had a scrub. He like the third guy on the depth chart. Like he was starting in the Rose Bowl,
Right.
and then dipped, and now it's coming back. I don't know if it was because Saban retired or
Right.
anything like that, but I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is. But
Well, the other thing too, if your coach leaves, you get 30 days to jump in the portal.
yeah,
So that's another like window of time that you can get in the portal. That's not like within the I can't remember how long the time frame is, but like it's not within the normal time frame to be able to transfer.
yeah. Well, I've heard just some things that might be a solution, and it probably won't ever happen, but with like you can't make NIL money until you've like played games. Like so like you have to actually play almost like the new red shirt rule where you can't play more than 4 games, 5 games, whatever it is.
Right.
But if you play more than that, then you're eligible for money. So it would eliminate some guys just dipping, like, hey,
Right.
I gotta go play because what are you gonna go over to this place? Well, they're not gonna. You're not gonna. You haven't played. Like you have no film. Like
Yeah.
so people that are chasing money places, or if you were given money and you transfer, you can't get paid at the next place, like for transfer. And there, I don't know. It's there's just the reason there's not a governing body for the NCAA, and so that's why there's not somebody at the top being like, hey, this is how it's gonna be, and we're gonna live with it.
Right.
So that's why. And then again, obviously the effects on high school, like we can't get our kids in, and then it's hard. And you can talk about a little bit more because you're a head coach, but it's a little harder on us because we have parents. Nothing against parents; they're a little naive when it comes to their parents or their kids. So my baby's going to go to Miami. Like no, Johnny's not, but he probably go to this school. We had just have to dial in our expectations
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But they don't understand. Like, hey, these people are getting all these offers, and then these guys are getting all these different things. Why can't my baby get that? Well, there's a thing called NIL transfer portal COVID year, like, and it's pushing everything down. And before it was hard to get your kid in, now it's even almost impossible. So
Yeah.
trying to manage expectations from parents as well, especially at the high school end.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like a blue chip kid, like high
Yeah,
4-star, 5-star kid,
yeah,
it's tough. I mean, you know, because like you said, that trickle down effect of okay, Power Five goes to Group of Five goes to one AA goes to D2. You know, I haven't really seen any D2 kids go to D3, but you know, it all rolls downhill, and it causes, you know, and in my opinion, the thought process behind why you take a transfer kid is 1,000% legitimate.
yeah,
Like you have a kid who has been in college. He understands how like college life works. He's been in a college weight room
Yeah.
for however long. Um, he's taught the game, at the level of a college coach teaches it. All these things. Why would I go mess with this high school kid who's a good player, but there's all these question marks?
Yeah.
Um, you know, that's the harsh reality of the situation. It's terrible. I hate it, but that's the reality of it. But that's why I tell our kids, like, look, like it doesn't matter who wants you to go to school there. If you can go for free or something close to free, you need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the reality of the situation. And I mean, you're on a year-to-year contract basically.
Yeah.
Like, if you decide, and in that kid's case, a month-to-month contract, you decide that you don't want to be there anymore, then you leave. And the thing that's tough too is that I think the relationships that high school coaches have with college coaches is very important um, when it comes to the recruiting process. I tell my kids all the time, everywhere I've been, like, I'm not going to lie for you. I'm not going to tell a coach that asked me about you, like, hey, he's a great kid if you're not. I'm not going to say you're a great student if you're not. Obviously, they get the transcript or you show up on campus and you're not who I said you were. I'm not going to do that because those relationships mean a lot to me. So, you know, when it comes to that stuff, you're just stockpiling it even more, to where a good fit may only be a good fit for a couple weeks or,
Mm-hmm.
a couple days, whatever. But it's tough, man. It's so tough because you want your kids to do well. You want to put kids in school or help put kids in school and all that stuff. And, I still send out my recruiting sheet. I still, send transcripts and highlight tapes and all that stuff. And I mean, it's gotten to the point now where some schools that I really am shocked are doing it, like, just don't even respond.
Yeah. It's sad. Like, I don't know. And you have some of these guys out here, like, I don't know. Like, I talked to a coach the other day about just how, like, college coaches, just how the effects and stuff like that, and of all this is going on. And he was just like, dude, you have no clue. You have no clue. And I'm just like, when he talked to me, and he was like, dude, like, he's like, I got a kid over here that, he's saying, oh, my whatever said I can get this much money, or hey, what are you gonna offer me over here? And it's like we can't live like that.
Right.
Like, and that's why a lot of these coaches are going to the NFL.
No
Like, that's
doubt.
why the bigger name coaches are going to the NFL.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't think that the college guys are leaving college to come to high school like that. But
I haven't seen
um,
anything.
no, I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised after a while if that happened. If it got so bad, but I mean, I don't know.
think I think the hardest position now to get recruited is quarterback because I
Yeah,
think that, and honestly, offensive line may be a close second, but I think there's so much technique that's taught at the college level. As far as, I mean, some coaches break it all the way down to like throwing motion and stuff like that. I don't know many that do, but some. And there's so much knowledge of the game, and really you can know everything but the system that the college is running, and nothing. Like, there's so many of those things that colleges want quarterbacks to have, and a lot of the time they don't, especially in North Carolina. No offense to anybody, but there isn't very many schools in the grand scheme of things who are running like college ready offenses.
yeah,
And schools do that and they win. So, I mean, if you're winning, keep running wing T or keep doing whatever you're doing. But I think it's to the point now where college coaches are looking at every single possible thing that they can with quarterbacks, and I would guess that what you're running is part of it. I don't know for a fact. I haven't been told that, but you can only get so good of an evaluation on a quarterback that's running flexbone. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say that, but if that quarterback is getting recruited to a school that's running spread and they only have 10 plays of them throwing the ball through the season, it's going to be tough to get a good evaluation. And I'm not saying change what you're doing for that, but in the grand scheme of things, you kind of got to take one of two ways with it. You either, got to win games and potentially not be able to develop every position the same to be prepared for college, or you got to try and do both. But there's so much that goes into it too. It's a tough position. I think it's the hardest position to get recruited at this point.
It is, and especially in high school, kids don't want to play quarterback anymore. Like, I mean, we're trying to find somebody to do that right now. Like, nobody wants to play quarterback. I don't know if it's the pressure or if it's because it's so technical. I don't know what it is, but like nobody is wanting to do that anymore. Which it is what it is. But everybody wants to play receiver. Everybody wants to play DB. Yeah, I mean running back to a certain extent, but for the most part, even it's really just those skill positions. And obviously there's a lot of tight ends because they're really just linemen. But
right, I'm gonna have 3 quarterbacks this summer for the first time since I've been here.
Yeah,
last year we had 1.
Yeah,
I had 1 and a receiver who was our emergency quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. I mean, there's just so many things that have made, the high school aspect of it difficult. I think you can almost pair like the NIL and transfer portal together. Like NIL is feeding into the transfer portal issue because now they can say, college coaches can say, hey, man, come over here. We'll give you $1 million for this or, whatever. How many high school or college kids do you know that are going to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to stay where I'm at and not get any money. Or I'm going to stay where I'm at and I'm going to get like $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Wisconsin, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong. They signed their whole O-line to like a truck deal.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. It might have been Wisconsin. It might not have been.
Yeah.
But like every player on their offensive line gets a truck. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's
where it's at right there.
No doubt. I'll be all about it. There ain't no doubt about that. But I mean, to me, that's part of it. Like part of like the glaring issue. Like you can get everybody a $40,000 vehicle. I mean, maybe it's less. Maybe it's more.
Yeah.
But you can get everybody a vehicle like that, and it's just like a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. Guys, if y'all still hanging out and watching, drop a comment down there, man. Keep it interactive. Holla at us. If you got anything you want to ask or you want to have any questions you want us to talk about, hit us up for sure. But because NIL transfer portal, it's to me, it's almost become like a cuss word. It's like something you don't really want to talk about, but it's something that's necessary, especially for what we do. But it's until they fix it, they put some guardrails on it. It's going to be getting worse and worse. So we're kind of just having to coach season by season and just hope if we can find our guys somewhere to play.
Yeah,
it's tough because even JUCO is. I think it's going to kill JUCO because I mean, why go to a JUCO outside of purely academic reasons? Why would you go to a JUCO now?
Yeah.
Just literally, you can transfer whenever. So, you can go get your 2-year degree over here at a D2 or NAIA school on a scholarship. Then you can transfer to your big D1. That's the new JUCO. So
basically, yeah. I mean, and we ain't even talked about NIL in high school.
Yeah.
I mean,
That blows my mind because I don't know. Because like obviously it's a thing. But in North Carolina, it's like for like the private schools or whatever right now. Um, I don't know how much longer it'll be before it's everybody.
yeah,
But I think it'll be in my opinion, it'll be the have and have nots like everything else is. It'll be
yeah,
the Charlotte schools and the Raleigh schools and just the big schools in general, and everybody else will lose out. I mean, that's what it seems like. That's what everything else has kind of come to. So
yeah. I mean, for us, like, unless you want an NIL deal with like Captain Bob's, the seafood place, you ain't really gonna get one.
yeah,
Um, you know, excuse me. And one of the things that I was kind of worried about, and first of all, respect to North Carolina for not falling into the trap like everybody else has. Like,
yeah,
I really appreciate that.
yeah,
Um, so, Commissioner Tucker, if you're listening, thank you. We respect you and we appreciate you. But for me, one of the things that I saw as a potential issue was how close we are to Virginia.
yeah.
And I didn't see like any Virginia people that I'm friends with or like follow or anything like that promote the fact that they've gotten NIL deals for kids.
Mhm.
Um, and I think in the grand scheme of things, like it's going to be very, very difficult, I think, to get those things. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it's going to be difficult to be able to get a high school kid an NIL deal. And
Mhm.
I mean, maybe it'll start happening soon. I don't know. But I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen anybody like promote the fact that it's happening anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's not, obviously, but
Mhm.
um, you know, and really, like you look at some of these places, like where are these high school kids going to get NIL deals from? Maybe, I mean, it's probably happening in like Texas and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
California, yeah,
maybe Florida and stuff like that. But I mean, North Carolina, I mean, we don't have a car dealership in Hereford. I don't know if y'all do.
we
um,
do, but it's locally owned, so
yeah, I mean, we don't have anything like that that's going to like pump out a bunch of money,
yeah,
uh, and things like that. So that part is going to be interesting, but I don't really foresee, like I said, in our area, I don't really foresee it being an issue. The biggest concern for me is like our proximity to Virginia. If
hmm
that happens to blow up,
yeah,
um, we have kids who, not that I think that they would leave for it, but we have kids who have family members, or maybe it's like a single parent home and their dad or their mom lives in Virginia. So it's possible, that we could lose kids to there, but I don't really foresee it becoming like something that we're really going to have to worry about that much.
no. Um, I think, and to talk about what you just said, maybe they don't, maybe they're not pushing it out because they don't want people to come back and be like, hey, well, where did that money come from, or how did you get that? So they're not really advertising it that much. We had, I'm gonna get to what Charter said in a second, but we um we had last year in the fall, like, we had like some random dude on Instagram. I think it was more spam than anything, but he was like sending out stuff to our guys to like, hey, put this on your story, get people to use your code, say you're sponsored by this apparel people, and they're trying to like be like you're NIL, and we had to like tell them like, dude, guys, don't do that, don't do that, don't make it public, don't do that, and they never made any money off of anything. So we're like, well, what's the big deal? Like, well, they're trying to get you to try to make money, and then you can be ineligible for the season.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that. I mean, it's a high school kid be like, hey, I just put on there for like I got 2,000, 3,000 followers. I just go put it on my thing, and maybe somebody will put the code in. I get some money. Like that's what they feel. I think it's a hustle. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, but the kids that don't understand, like you can get in trouble, like because you're not supposed to. Which I mean, is that any more different the kid going to McDonald's and making minimum wage, like, but it is what it is, and that's, I mean, we're just don't want our kids to get in trouble. So,
Right.
all right, our dude, Coach Trotter, came on. He's saying hey to us. He's like, I see being a little bit bigger issue with basketball in private schools, less players needed for an all-star team. Very true. Like I said, I think private schools is where it's at, and then obviously, yeah, basketball with AAU and
Yeah.
they transfer more than anything combined
That's a
out
fact.
here in amateur sports. So yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, you can come and get a deal with, I don't know, whatever the local, whatever. Like you said, what, Bob the seafood coach, the captain,
Captain Bob.
whatever, Captain Bob's. You can come get the Coach Rapinick plate at Captain Bob's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm like
definitely
probably gonna have the NIL deals figured out here soon. Trotter, do we have volleyball practice tonight? Alumni of the school is another one too, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How did volleyball practice go, Coach? Let's get to a lighter note real quick.
Right.
How was volleyball practice? Hopefully, he still had practice today.
Any injuries? Or do we make it out clean? Love to hear
Heck
it.
yes. Hey,
Coach of the year.
yeah. No
No
injury.
crying
No
either.
pride.
Love it.
Hey, man. Hey, we need to have him. We need to have Trotter on. We got to figure out. Maybe he could be like the second half of a podcast when he gets home or whatever.
Volleyball practice. Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to. I want to like. I've never coached girls sports. When I was in school, I took a coaching class, and like we had like all the coaches from the university came and spoke to us. My football coach, he came. The basketball coach, the women's basketball coach came. The volleyball coach, and they were all men. So the women's basketball and the volleyball coach were men, and so they came and talked about like how much different it is to coach girls versus guys. I never thought of it that way. Like, obviously, we're different. So it's like, obviously, you can't scream at them. You can't do all the things you want to do with guys. And, like, you can't be in the locker room with them. So it's different how to do that. So, like, I want to come on just, like, with Trotter, but, like, how do you, like, the philosophy of coaching these, like, rec girls? But I don't know, it'd be funny. Had a ton of downtime. Yeah, I toned down my coaching.
I believe it. I coached track when I was at Pakrummas the first time, and it was the one and only time I've ever coached girls. And I was really young at this point, like, and it was difficult for me because, like, I just didn't know how to interact with them. And I know that sounds like crazy, but I didn't know how to handle like that. I guess I don't know. Because in football practice, like you can be like high energy and all this stuff, and like I felt like with the girls, they were just like staring at me like I was crazy. But I mean, our women's basketball coach is a male also, and he's really successful. I mean, he has to like talk to him in the weight room and stuff like that before games and all that, but he has a female assistant. So I mean, I'm sure that helps.
Yeah. Let me ask you, like you talk about you coach track. I'm kind of switch up the topic real quick. Coaching another sport, and I've only ever coached football except for one time. I've helped out a lot of different sports. Like, hey, you need me to help here, help this, but I've never like, hey, you're the coach, you're on it, right? But the one thing was middle school baseball, and let me tell you, I don't know if you've ever coached middle school baseball, Coach.
I'm not.
Let me tell you, that is like the most relaxing thing of all time. During the game, we were sitting there like, and the head coach, like, he didn't chew or nothing like that, but he had sunflower seeds. I don't do sunflower seeds. Nothing against them. I really chew gum. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So literally, he would sit on what's the sunflower seed brand? Everybody gets. Yeah. So he would have one of those buckets, and that's what he would like. He had just an office full of sunflower seeds, but he'd have those buckets. And instead of the buckets to put the balls came in, he put his baseballs in those buckets. And he would sit on those buckets and he would eat sunflower seeds. And like he would talk to the infield, I'd talk to the outfield. He was the first base coach or the third base coach, and like he's just old man, super like crazy. Like always got a story always has a story for you. Like we coached football together as well. He was that kind of guy. So like it was super enjoyable. Like with that saying, coaching baseball, it's a breeze. Like there's the technical side of it,
Right.
but you just chill in the dugout half the time.
Look, I tried. Like our AD is a good friend of mine. He's a baseball coach also. I tried to get him to let me coach baseball. He was like, "No, man, you got spring ball. You got to worry about." I was like, "Dude, just let me try it. Like I can hit like ground balls. I can put the ball in like the machine and all that stuff. Like, you can just kick your feet up and do your thing. Like, I won't say nothing crazy, but
yes,
Coach
it
Hudson,
is.
yeah, I imagine. I mean, I coached golf last year. That's a pretty relaxing sport to coach.
Oh
So
yeah,
my problem with golf was, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
There's one reason that I'm not coaching golf anymore. And so like our conference championship match was on like a Thursday, and that following Tuesday we were supposed to start spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
The best player on our team missed qualifying for regionals, which was supposed to start that Tuesday that we're supposed to start spring ball, missed qualifying for regionals by one stroke. I couldn't miss spring ball. So I had to, and there was a couple of kids coming from the middle school that are pretty good. So I couldn't more. But the biggest thing, like the biggest struggle for me with that was like I'm not a very good golfer. I love playing golf. I enjoy it. I play fairly often. Like I played last Sunday. But I mean, my golf swing isn't great. I can't fix anybody else's. Like I can't go out there and like tell you like, what you're doing wrong or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I was doing a disservice to the kids. The golf pro at the course that we practiced at was great. He helped me with a lot of that stuff. I just tried to teach them like golf etiquette and basically like manage everything so they weren't running around like their heads were cut off.
Oh Lord.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. All of them have private coaches. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that's what golf was going to be like, honestly. But like we had a couple kids that were good who could like do their own thing, and I didn't have to worry about them. And then we had a couple kids that were terrible, who I just had to like, sit with the whole time. But I mean, it got to the point where like towards the end of the season, we go out there 3 times a week. I'd play 9 holes with the guys. I'd send them home, and we'd do it all over again. But I mean, it was sweet. Like we used to get out of school at like 11 to go to matches and stuff like that. It was a good time.
I need to be at like a super country school, and like bass fishing is a sport, and just get on a boat and just bass fish. I would tell like they're like, Coach, why am I not biting? I'm like, dude, because it's Tuesday. I don't know. Keep reeling.
Look, when I was at Pacoima the first time, we had a fishing team.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it was like a club sport.
Okay.
And I mean, they would go fish tournaments and stuff like that. Like the parents would drive them around in the boat and all that. It was awesome. Bass fishing would be a good deal. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. A little let's see. Now bass fishing would be the heck yeah.
No doubt.
Coach Hudson is a Virginia Beach guy.
I did know that. How is Coach Hudson? How's your son doing?
Yeah. Let us know, Coach Hudson.
He was a baller.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sure he still is. I haven't seen him from him in a little while, but
I was literally about to say like Virginia Beach story. I was like, I would go on the Elizabeth River because I live right over there, down from it, or outside of Norfolk, in the Chesapeake area. I'd go down Elizabeth River, and I would always fish under that. I don't know what bridge that was called. I forget what bridge it is, but it's a toll bridge, and I would fish right under that bridge like all the time. Like I used to go there all the time, man. The little park, like I miss going fishing, man. Crazy.
Yeah, I ain't gone. Look, I tried to get my son into it, and he was just too young. We just got clear. That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Hopefully, I think I want to say he was at Campbell and then transferred. I could be wrong. But hopefully, he has a big year. He was a ball player. I'm I was not upset when he went to IMG, that's for sure, because we couldn't block him real well at Norview.
Oh man. Well, Coach, unless you got something else.
No, you got it.
Nah, hit me with your question, man. Let's rock and roll.
All right. It's a two-part question. Number one, other than like a super expensive place, best restaurant steak.
Ooh.
I'm not talking like Ruth's Chris and stuff like that. Like take that out. Take that out.
So I love a good steak. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No doubt.
But I don't think outside of the chain places, I don't think I've really been to like a steakhouse. Like
All
a
right,
place
so-
you're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking like chain plate, like Outback,
Okay.
Texas Roadhouse, something like that.
Probably like a Longhorn. I mean, because like I don't go to a place to go get steak. I don't like I don't know, I'm not that type of guy. Like, I love steak to death, but I don't. That's not what I'm going to places to go get.
What kind of steak do you get?
Oh Lord.
Whether you're grilling, whatever, it don't matter.
It don't really matter to me. Like sirloin, New York strip, any of those, T-bone, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Strip guy.
Yeah.
That's what I get. I'd have to go Texas Roadhouse.
Okay.
My parents are big Texas Roadhouse people, so like anytime we go up there and go out and eat, like that's where we're going.
Yeah. I really like Texas Roadhouse. Taylor really likes Texas Roadhouse. But like Taylor doesn't like steak. So we don't like that's why we don't really go get it.
Right.
But I'll get other things. And then I love like the cactus blossom. Like blooming onions is the bomb. Like I love blooming onions.
No doubt.
Charlie says rib off the grill.
How are you getting it cooked?
How am I getting cooked? Oh, dude, medium rare. That's like the medium rare. Medium is a stretch. But those are the only two. Like give me like medium rare and medium. Yeah. Let's see. Tatum venture down to Mooresville and go to Epic Chop House. I got a better idea. Let's go down to Mooresville and go to Epic Chop House.
You buy and I'll come.
Oh, he ain't got to buy it. We got to buy one to go together.
We'll meet in the middle.
You know what? Are you doing medium?
Yeah, I'm a medium rare guy. Medium at most. It depends because like it's tough too. Like that's the only reason why I don't love going places to get steak. Like I'd rather cook it myself because it's always so different. Like even the same restaurant, like Texas Roadhouse, you'll go one day and it'll be like perfect, and then you'll go another day, it'll be overcooked. So it's tough.
It's like you gotta get like you have to get in a batch of like a bunch of medium rares on the grill, and you'll get what you want. But like if you're like one medium rare and then you got a whole bunch of like well dones that are just rubber, and then like some mediums, like it's not gonna be off. It's not a professional doing it.
I tell you one thing though, I don't like cooking other men's steaks though. Like if the coaches come over or something like that,
that's pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
I hate cooking it for other people. Like me and my wife and like my son starting to eat steak, like I'll make theirs all day long. Yeah. But I can't make I just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, I'll grill. I love grilling. Like my dad, like he grills and until life happened and I stopped doing this stuff, he like would do videos on YouTube cooking and stuff like that. So like he's like always has cooked. So like I've learned how to cook from him, all that stuff. So I know my way around a grill. But the thing is, like I'm the same way about steak. Like because like we didn't eat steak a lot. But like grilling a burger, I mean, if you burn a burger, you're just suck. And like you gotta know like I know you can go and obviously people have thermometers and all that stuff on like cooking chicken the right way, so with that, like we always eyeballed it and we never necessarily had dry chicken. Like so it was it wasn't raw or dry. So it was in the middle. So it was you gotta learn how to cook based off timing and feel and your temperature, all that stuff. So that's all it is.
Dang, Trot.
We host the same place every year at our house for a steak dinner. everyone gets a medium rare. I'm not cooking different temperatures. Hey, that's the thing. You gotta be like, hey, we're doing it this way. Sorry, like it's, but like you can't be like we're doing all well done. Like no, like give some variety. Either cook them all medium or do different temperatures. Like
right.
or like you say,
You want
medium rare.
anything past that, you need to put it in the microwave or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
I refuse to do that.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Rat, but I'm a senior at Pine Lake Prep.
I'm saying like Pine Lake Prep. I mean, Lord, you got the reps. You're giving kids steaks for dinner. I really like that idea of doing a steak dinner for the seniors, but I'm gonna have like 20 something this year.
Ooh.
It's just not gonna work. Maybe next year. But yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't think that's good. Unless I can get somebody like I'll just go buy a cow and do it that way. Probably
I would love to do a pig because when I was at Garden Web, I was there on the football team. There were 3 Samoans, and like Samoans or anyone from the Polynesia area, they're some of the best people in the whole world. Like they'll do whatever you can, they'll do whatever they can for you, and they're some of those naturally strong people ever. But they always want to have a good time. And and this was in Lake Norman. This is way back before I was like even thinking about. I was just started coaching, so I didn't even know trotter or anything like that. But in the Lake Norman area, one of the guys, his parents had bought a house in the lake, and they had like a luau, 4th of July, and they put a pig in the ground, dude. They cook it. Oh, it was great. I only went to one, but it was absolutely a great time. So yeah, I would do that, like a whole pig, do a pig picking. Yeah, it would be absolutely awesome. So we had 15 seniors last year. Don't ask what the bill was. Well, yeah.
I'd have to like see if I can get a discount from somewhere or something like that.
Maybe getting the little small steaks. Like, do you want 2 baked potatoes? I can get you 2 baked potatoes.
Unlimited baked potatoes, but 1 steak is all you get. No doubt. That's hilarious. I cut every steak in half.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Well, it's like that's an awesome thing that coach does, and that's fantastic. We would do at Northern Ireland. We did the guys that made 80%, 85% of the workouts in the summer. Call them the Iron Calves. Like, and we would take them over to Coach Pearson's house, and it was just hamburgers and hot dogs. But you could do hamburgers and hot dogs all day long, and them kids they'll eat it all up, and you can do whatever sides you want. But I do like the steak. The steaks are 1.5-inch ribeyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime you can do something special for your seniors, especially the ones that have been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
That's always something special. But yeah, I love the question because food questions are a premium. I love food questions.
Yeah. It was down to that one, and I had another one, but I'm not going to use it yet.
Well, you use it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got it. I'll save it for episode 11. Episode 10 questions got to be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's got to create some real conversation.
Mm-hmm. I just realized my screen got really, really dark because I'm on Google and it's in dark mode. But not to throw Trotter under the bus, but I just looked up what 1.5-inch ribeyes are right now. Yeah, let's see. And I mean, obviously, I think you can get different brands or whatever. Yeah, a pack of 2. I mean, I don't know if this sounds right, but a pack of 2 right here is $25. So,
golly.
I mean, you do the math. Like 15 seniors plus he probably had one family. So, y'all do your own math. I'm not throwing him under the bus. He ain't got to say how much it was, but
I'm not going to say what I really want to say here to put Trotter on blast, but he got me last week. But I'm not going to.
He's straight, man.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be the bigger person.
Oh Lord.
I don't want to put him out there like that. I'm going to text him though for sure.
There you go. Text him. before we wrap it up, Coach, just real fun, just off the cuff question, and I just wanted to ask, what's your go to fast food?
Go to like most often, or if I got to pick.
Um, like you get a craving for, so like which one you want?
Huh. I'll
And
probably go.
anybody listening, tell us too.
I'll probably lean towards Cookout.
Oh,
I think that's probably what I'd go.
that's what I was. That was mine. So I was, heck yeah, when you said that,
Yeah.
cookout,
What do you
man.
get?
So I get the big double burger. So I get the tray, and so I'll just get whatever I want on that, and then I switch up my sides all the time. More than likely, I'll get a corn dog and chicken quesadilla, and then um, I don't do a drink. I'll get a peanut butter Oreo milkshake. So
Hey, that peanut butter Oreo. Add you some M&Ms in there too. That's been my kick
yeah,
lately.
yeah.
I'm going.
Cookout, two hot tray, cookout style, double cheese bites, huge sweet tea, chocolate malt mixed with Hershey. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, he had his order on lock.
That's about to say you type that real fast.
He probably has it like as a saved text. Like how you can do shortcuts in your phone.
He
I do
just
like
types
I do
COO. And
yeah,
it
exactly.
White Castle's a good one too.
I've never been to a White Castle.
It's good. We used to go on vacation to Florida all the time. We used to go to Crystals. It's like the same concept. Crystals is
Okay.
really good. I think
Yeah.
I like Whataburger a lot too.
Yeah. I went to a Whataburger. I've only been to one. It was when we went. It was 2 or 3 years ago. Whenever the big clinic was in San Antonio,
Uh,
we went to Whataburger. I mean, it was from what I remember, it was all right. Just after on the way home from volleyball. Yep.
I mean, there's really not much better. Like pretty much everything is better in Texas. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that for sure. But I
Mhm.
go 2 chicken quesadillas, 2 Cajun chicken wraps, huge sweet tea, Oreo, peanut butter, M&M milkshake.
Heck
That's
yeah.
hot.
Heck yeah.
Them cheese bites are real too.
Cheese bites are good.
I started getting them. Fan
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Hey, we're 100%. And we put Coach Hudson in there. We are definitely four offensive line coaches right now talking about food.
That's right. No doubt
Heck
about
yeah.
that. No doubt about that.
Love it. Yeah, but yeah, cookout. I was thinking about 100% cookout because I was thinking like Taco Bell. Taco Bell, like I'll get a craving for Taco Bell, but then I'll have it and I'm like, I'm good for now. And I
Yeah.
don't need to go. But after I eat cookout, I'm like, dude, that was bomb. And like,
Yeah.
what can I go get next? Like for the next time, get my order ready for the next time I want to go. But I don't
I'm
know.
not a big Taco Bell guy.
Really.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll eat it every once in a while. My wife likes it a lot.
Yeah.
So like if we're picking something up for dinner, like that's what she always wants. I
Mhm.
just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'll eat it some, but a lot of time we're gonna have to go somewhere else. Underrated for me is Zaxby's.
Yeah. Zaxby's is good.
Fries are never
Um,
very good, but the
no.
chicken's good. The chicken's real good.
If you were to ask my wife, which I guarantee you she's watching right now, because I'm looking at it right here, and I have 4 people watching on YouTube. I know one's Trotter, and another one's probably her. So she's back in the room watching. So shout out to my wife, but she would say Chick-fil-A 100% all the time.
Yeah.
And I like Chick-fil-A.
But
It's good. But it's not my go-to at all.
our Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth City is awful.
Really.
They take forever. Their drive-through is like so narrow. It's bad. It's bad. I
Mm-hmm.
just I don't. It's like a toss up of what you're gonna get when you open the bag too, like whether it's something you ordered or not.
Yeah.
But I would say every other Chick-fil-A on earth is up there for me too.
Yeah.
Cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A. Can't beat that either.
You know,
It's hard to beat.
I know, like, this is a debate about like ice cream versus milkshake. Like the Cookout, I mean, technically, is it ice cream? Yeah, it's ice cream. Like
No
they call it a
question.
milkshake, but I prefer it over eating just like drinking a milkshake out of a straw. Like for me, like I like thicker ice cream. I mean, I always have.
That Cookout milkshake is definitely not a milkshake.
No.
It's like eating ice cream with stuff in it. There's no doubt. In a cup. Like,
They give you that straw and like laugh at you. They're like,
just
here you
throw it
go.
out the window, like give it back to them. Give me
Yeah.
this food. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
They need
It
one
would-
of those like super thick straws, like
Yeah, it's
super
gotta be
like
like
this thick. Yeah.
water hose or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ain't gonna do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
You just put some extra milk in here because there ain't no way it's coming up.
right.
Yeah. Straws it. Cookout useless.
I would
100%.
also say Cookout sweet tea is up there with probably the best sweet tea in fast food restaurants.
Really.
For me, it's the most consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you may go to like McDonald's or Wendy's or something like that, and it's like way too sweet and it's not sweet enough. Cookout, you always know what you're gonna get. It's underrated in my opinion. I don't know if people talk about that enough.
I've never worked in fast food, but I think
Me either.
I've made my fair share of sweet tea. Just because we would always have sweet tea at the house, but like the key to having good sweet tea is to stir it before you serve it. So you will be sitting in there in the refrigerator. You better stir that thing up, or you're gonna have just whatever's at the top. Because sugar falls.
Right.
I don't care how blended it is, sugar will fall. And so like I don't know, the top will taste like water or like whatever like non sweet tea. So
Hey, that's groundbreaking stuff. I've never done that.
yeah,
We don't really keep it in the house because my wife don't drink it.
yeah,
Best fast food sweet tea. It ain't close.
yeah. My wife doesn't drink sweet tea either. So
I don't even really get sweet tea anywhere else.
yeah,
But
well, I like sweet tea. I love Arnold Palmer's, and the reason I say that because I'm a big lemonade guy. So I like sweet tea. I'm a big lemonade guy. Mix it together. Arnold Palmer. Let's roll. So yeah, but I'm a big lemonade, pink or regular.
I prefer pink lemonade, but I don't like the fancy stuff though. You know, like some places will get like the fresh squeeze stuff. No, I want Minute Maid pink lemonade.
Yeah, well, that's why Chick-fil-A is. Chick-fil-A will have the pulp in there. They have normal yellow lemonade.
Yeah, that Arnold Palmer Chick-fil-A is good.
Yeah, I'm just not a pulp guy. Like I don't like orange juice. I don't want pulp in it. My lemonade, I don't want pulp in it. Yeah. So yeah.
Minute Maid pink lemonade. The golf course I used to work at, they had it in like in the clubhouse. So in the summertime, when it was like 115 degrees and we were mowing grass, before you went home, you went and got you some pink lemonade. That it was exquisite, as they say.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Now I'm just being fat, but I was like the best drinks are at Sonic. I don't care. I want to hear nothing.
Yeah, I mean Sonic's kind of like everything. I would agree with that.
They have the monopoly. Their milkshakes are okay. I would still rather go over to Chick-fil-A, Cookout and get their ice cream, whatever you want to call it. But their drinks, whether it be a slushie or a real drink, put the nerds in it. Woo!
Yeah.
All at me.
Sonic's got to figure it out when it comes to the drink. That cherry limeade at Sonic's a real deal too.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Yes.
Fan of that. Yeah.
But we got to take the lime out because the drink will end up tasting like the peel of the lime.
Yeah.
That's what I found. So
the lime and the cherry. I don't like cherries, so
you like cherries?
I like cherry flavor, but I don't like to eat cherries. So milkshake, I don't get no cherry on it.
Yeah.
It ain't my style, but just about everything else is.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta get a drink sponsor, man. We gotta it would be Cookout to get us a milkshake, whatever. Like, hey, we're gonna call this our milkshake. It's gonna be the peanut butter Oreo milkshake with the M&Ms. It's gonna be the podcast drink.
I will support Cookout and eat a milkshake every Thursday night at 7.
There you go.
Just
There you go.
for the sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit
But
us up.
even if it was a funny thing we did, it'd be hilarious.
I don't know if mine would make it home if I went and got one, to be quite honest. But I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
We'll give
exactly.
it a shot.
Yeah.
Cookout, call it.
Yeah, exactly. Call us up. But Coach, you got anything else for the folk before we let them go?
No, sir. Keep learning. Keep doing it for the kids. Episode 10 coming up. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah. I think 9 weeks ago, we were like, hey, man, let's do this. It was before that, but like I'm having a blast. Literally, I texted you, what was it, like Tuesday or Monday, whenever it was, like, hey, what are your thoughts on topics, stuff like that. But then today, I don't know what time, I think it was, we had just got out of class, and I was sending my kids to electives. It's probably around noonish, like 12:30. And I looked down at my phone, and it's Trotter. It was like, what's the topic for tonight? And I was like, heck yeah, like that. That's absolutely like, I'm not just like shout out Trotter because he's our dude, but like when people text me, like Coach Woodward, he does the same thing. Like he'll DM me on Twitter and be like, hey, what's the topic tonight? What are we doing? Stuff like that. So I love the anticipation. I love that guys are wanting to know. So it really makes it worth it coming on and talking with you guys. So
yeah, appreciate the time y'all hanging out. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, DM us for sure if you want to have something you want to hear us talk about, or if you have any ideas how we can make things better or anything like that. But love the support. And then the replay, it's gonna be up on the YouTube. Like obviously the links are all on Twitter, so if you want to retweet them or share the link on the YouTube, it'd be absolutely awesome. And make sure that you follow the podcast at CTR Culture Pod on Twitter. We're at 106 followers on there right now, so it's absolutely awesome. We're also, we're tweeting out the highlights of the podcast. So make sure you check those out as well. But yeah, Coach Rap, another week down. Appreciate you, big dog.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Enjoying it.
Hey, guys, spring ball is going to be here. We're talking about some other things like that about spring ball coming. It's closer, but like Coach said, make sure you're working for the kids. Make sure you're doing things the right way. Leave other coaches, players alone when you're recruiting them. I'm throwing it out there just because it's on my heart.
To be the highlight for the podcast for tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably throw it out somewhere. But make sure you're and just this be just a word of wisdom. You can take it for a grain of salt. Tomorrow, it's Friday. Find one of your players or find somebody at the building. If you're a coach, you're at the school building, find somebody, tell me you're proud of them. Tell me you love them. And just make their day. If they laugh at you, I don't know, maybe you're not that great of a coach to them.
Hopefully they'll say it back.
Yeah, maybe they'll give you a hug. Because short story, when I was sick yesterday, one of my kids texted me, and that was not even one of my old linemen. I told them yesterday in the meeting, I was like, none of you guys texted me. Because I texted them like, hey, not doing meetings. So they're like, oh, I hope you get better. Like none of y'all texted me privately, but one of the skill guys did, so I appreciate them. And they're like, "Well, we're bad, coach," so I had to give them a hard time. But yeah, it makes it worth it, man. So yeah, tell one of your kids that you're proud of them, that you love them tomorrow.
I'm gonna do that. Do that.
Yeah.
So
anyway, guys, see y'all next week. For Coach Rap, I'm Coach Tatum. Counterculture Podcast, episode 9. Signing off. See y'all next week.
Appreciate y'all.